Hi, this is Val, the writer and producer of The Heart of Ether, as well as the voice of Rosemary Quinn. In case you didn't already know, Season 1 of The Heart of Ether is about to finish. Episode 12 is going to be the last episode of the season before we begin production on Season 2, which we're all super excited for. Unfortunately, however, Episode 12 has been delayed by 1 week. We're really sorry for the wait, but we needed some extra time to make sure this season finale is perfect. Thus, episode 12, Bicycle, will be coming out on January 29th instead. After that, we will be releasing a Q&A along with some special bonus content. We don't have any official dates for season 2 or its trailer yet, but we will keep you all posted in the stream. If you'd like some additional updates and behind the scenes, you can also follow us on our socials. For now, however, here is another bonus episode set during Irene's time in college. People were very upset with me for calling the last bonus episode a fluff episode, so I will also be calling this one a fluff episode, but this time as a threat. Thank you so much for your patience, and enjoy this bonus episode.
Please state your message.
It's 3:33 a.m. Why am I up, you may ask? I wish I had an answer. I think I had a nightmare. I don't remember it, though. Well, okay, I remember this, really massive apartment complex. Kind of. It was... I don't know. My dreams never really mean anything anyways. I used to have nightmares about you. I think I woke up screaming once after one of them. You were standing in front of me and I tried to reach out and touch you, but my hand went right through your chest. And when I pulled it out, there was this white liquid, glossy paint. And when I looked up, the same thing was pouring out of your mouth. I don't remember much else other than that, but it left me pretty shaken. I'm just glad I don't have nightmares like that anymore. I haven't had any luck falling back asleep, though. Catherine, from my old dorm, she said whenever she couldn't sleep, she would watch bad rom-coms. They were lighthearted enough that they would fight off any bad thoughts, but boring enough that she wouldn't be too engaged. It's smart, I guess. I can't stand romance movies, though. The writing is always so unbearable, even at the best of times, and it's so weird to think about how those actors probably don't actually care about each other that much. Besides, the relationships always seem super rushed since they have to fit it all into an hour and a half. It's just superficial. I know this sounds like me being cynical because of my failed relationships, and I'm not watching rom-coms. Not just because they kind of sting, they're just bad. I really tried, I tried to date after you. First, there was Juniper. They were an art major, but we shared a math class. We started talking after we had this group project together, and the two of us were the only ones who actually contributed. They always had snacks in their bag, and they had really strong opinions about Victorian fashion, which was cute. And, okay, I'm not completely ignorant. I knew there was definitely some sort of thing there. Some sort of... Feels weird saying spark, but yeah. I was fragile, though. It was during the first semester of my freshman year, before I switched degrees. Or, as I like to call it, moved over to forest school. I was still a mess from you being gone, though. However, this was also when I was still going to therapy. I told my therapist about Juniper and how I thought Juniper liked me, and I may or may not have liked them back. My therapist said it was a great idea to put myself out there and start dating again. It would help my heart begin to heal. So, I asked Juniper out on a date, and for some reason they said yes. We only had that one date, though. We went on a walk through the park after getting coffee together, and it was going well until they started to hold my hand. It made me think of my dates with you too much. I just burst into tears. We had to sit down on a park bench as I awkwardly explained why I wasn't ready for a relationship yet. Thankfully, they were incredibly understanding, and they said they were fine with just being friends. They walked me back to my dorm, and, well, that was that. We continued to talk for a few months until I got caught up in school, and I just stopped responding. I feel kind of bad, actually. Maybe I should reach out to them. I didn't date after Juniper for a while, though there was this one time where I kind of tried. I went to a party, not because I wanted to, but I had a group project due the next day that my group had not done anything for. Are you noticing a trend here? Anyways, I knew there was a chance they were going to be there, so I'd gone to scream at them to stop getting wasted and actually do their part. Or at least send me what they had so I could finish it for them. But, well, that didn't happen. Seeing as I got incredibly nervous the second I stepped through the door and kind of, blindly started drinking the first can in the cooler in an attempt to blend in. Really not my brightest moment, I know. Anyways, one thing led to another, and I ended up making out with this girl named Sophie. She had a jawline sharp enough to cut someone, and blue eyes icy enough to put on the wound afterwards. Didn't actually go anywhere, because partway through I suddenly remembered I still had a project due and stumbled out. Didn't get a good grade, obviously, but somehow I got her number before I left. It was no use, though. We talked for 2 days before I told her that if the relationship was going anywhere, I had some past stuff that might be an issue. Then she said, and I quote, "Look, I don't care about being your therapist or whatever. If you have emotional baggage, I'm not dealing with that." Kind of ghosted her after that. She was a cold person anyways. I don't think we would have gotten along. Amy was the longest I was ever with someone. 2 months. She had pink hair, loved to wear vintage dresses, and collect vinyl records. She's actually the reason why my collection really took off, though. Our tastes were very different. I met her at a coffee shop. Kind of ironic, seeing I just talked about my burning hatred for cheesy romance, but she was all about that sort of fan fiction quality love. Something about being around her just made everything a bit brighter. Like, not just for me, but for literally everyone. I'm not exaggerating when I say she left a trail of smiles wherever she went. She came up to me because she said I looked like I was from a painting. She was an artist, she said, and she knew art when she saw it. It was the first time in a while I'd been left genuinely flustered. She wrote her number on my hand using a Sharpie tucked behind her ear, and she told me to promise that I'd let her draw me one day. We started talking after that, and she invited me over to her apartment. It was a small place, and she had a mysterious roommate who literally never left their room, but it was cute. Lots of plants and paintings on the walls. At some point, she started playing a record and offered her hand to me. Lifted me to my feet from where I'd been sitting on her bed. She didn't mind that I was a horrible dancer. She put her arms around my shoulders, kissed me softly, smiled against my lips. And that was that. It was weird being in a proper relationship again, but I told myself I was healing. It didn't take long for her to tell me she was in love with me, but I didn't really know how to respond. I didn't know how I felt, honestly. I thought she was wonderful. I knew I really enjoyed kissing her and spending time with her, and how her face would light up whenever I got her a gift. It didn't feel the same, though, to how things felt with you. It didn't feel the same, though, to how things felt with you. She was extremely sympathetic about my whole situation. See, she understood how I felt and gave me the space I needed, which meant more than I think I ever told her. She was so curious about you, you know. Every now and then, she would ask me things like, what kind of music did Rose like? Or, do you have any of Rose's old paintings? I think the two of you would have gotten along really well. And you know what? I think that was the problem. You both were too similar. I mean, I liked her a lot, but I don't think I loved her the way she wanted me to. I think I was just projecting onto her all the things I wanted with you, which is really shitty of me, I know, but at least I recognize it now. Not that any of it matters. 2 months into dating, Amy found out her mom had died unexpectedly from surgery complications. She moved back home to New Jersey to be with her family. We broke up shortly afterwards. Things had already been heading nowhere even before she left, and I think deep down she knew that. She reaches out to me every now and then and asks how I'm doing. I enjoy talking to her even if our conversations never last long. If she suddenly showed up at my doorstep tomorrow and asked me to start dating again, I'd say no, but she's nice to have as a friend. There is one story with Amy that stands out to me. We went to a souvenir shop on one of our dates, and she asked me if I wanted anything. I looked at this clay figurine of a cat, and I smiled, and I said, Rose would love that. The cat had 2 different colored eyes, and I knew it would make you think of Sir Griffin III. And Amy smiled too. It is gorgeous, she said, but what do you like, Irene? Don't know why that moment stuck with me. Guess it just kind of shocked me. I'd spent so long living life in your shadow, I'd hardly ever thought about the things I like. Just, I don't know, I'd like to think a bit better about it now. And I've vented about Emma enough, I think, but I'll never pass up an opportunity to talk about how much I hate her. And we're already going down memory lane. We were together for about 2 weeks after I met her, when she was performing at some restaurant. She winked at me while they were covering a love song. Started off well at first. She was in a band called Rotten Plum. She played bass and did vocals. They were fine, but nothing special. Really loved the Smiths, which should have been my first red flag. Then she found out about how I did recordings for you and exploded. Said I was practically cheating, that I was a freak, and that I was so codependent I would be worthless without someone else. And okay, yeah, that hurt. A lot. I've never felt so, small? Pitiful? I thought about trying to make things up with her until one of her exes reached out to me and told me to stay as far away from her as possible. Apparently, she had a history of doing really shitty things like that, and sometimes even worse things. I broke up with her. There was a fight, but I'm relieved I got out of it before things got any worse. Anyways, fuck Emma Mitchell is what I'm saying. She kind of turned me off from dating entirely, but I honestly think it's for the better. I don't actually really want a relationship. Not with anyone who isn't you, that is. I kind of forced myself to seek out relationships for a while because I thought it would help me heal, but it did a lot more harm than good. Besides, it's not fair to other people for me to use them as some sort of therapy exercise. I don't know if I can love someone without that attachment still being there. Not for a long time, at least. Out of all of them, you're the only one I really loved. When I was dating all of those people, I was still just in love with you. And I know it's probably stupid to talk to your missing girlfriend about all of your other exes. I might have felt bad about it at some point. You know what, though? I don't think you're gonna hear these. And I know I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna keep making them anyways. I know. It's just always that same vicious cycle, isn't it? I'll look at myself in the mirror in the morning and I'll say, it's over. Rose isn't coming back. Stop hurting yourself like this. Then I'll go to some small shop downtown, impulsively buy some trinket because it made me think of you, and then I'll walk away thinking, God, I hope I get to show her this one day. It never ends. I'm never gonna get myself out of this stupid hole because I'm never gonna stop loving you. I'll always keep going back to this fantasy that you'll come back soon, and I'll keep doing it for the rest of my life. This can't go on forever, though. This isn't helping me sleep. I should just, read a book or look outside or something. Always fun to see what's happening on campus these ungodly hours of night. What do you know? There's some dudes sitting outside playing guitar. You go, funky little 3 a.m. guitar dude. Good night, I guess.
Today's quote is, "You can look at a picture for a week and never think of it again. You can also look at a picture for a second and think of it all your life." Donna Tartt and the Goldfinch, 2013.
The Heart of Ether is a podcast made by Three-Eyed Frog Presents. It is written and produced by Val West. The voice of Irene Gray is Luka Miller. Music is produced by Luka Miller. To follow the show and find transcripts, you can follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Heart of Ether. Questions and comments can be emailed to us at heartofether@gmail.com. Want to help support the show? Rate and review us on iTunes and Podchaser, and talk about the show using #HeartofEtherPod. Thank you for listening.